who is asking the right questions. Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyo Society is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Yes, many people usually used to think Nigeria is a confused country. Many people feel like Nigerians don't know what they want. Many people feel like Nigeria, when it feels like everything is happening to be good, one thing just come up and pick up a distraction. That's how people feel, and that's how some people say Nigeria. Sometimes, the way Nigerians have been seen, or the way the country is seen, rather, they cost it. That's the word. Should I use the word we cost it? So, it's just one of those things. I don't know, we're just looking to Nigeria case and you say, this one is going well, this one is going well. Looking at everything, the way it's going right now, the border sector, the educational aspect, the economy, the sports world, everything is looking disrupted right now. It doesn't feel like everything is just so good. But let's talk about the Nations Cup coming up. How prepared is Nigeria? That's the question, first of all. Because right now we learned the news that says our preparation for the AFCON 2025 have taken another expected turn after Egypt confirmed that their friendly game against the Super Eagles has been shifted to 16 December. Now, I like to say this. The fixture originally penciled for 14 December, it was later forced into a new window following the FIFA latest release guidelines, and that's for international duty. That update meant African players will not be available to their national team until 15 December, leaving both camps unable to assemble full squad aim for that earlier date. Now, tell this. The Egyptian Football Association, through Vice President Khalid El Darad Ali, acknowledged that the late change and indicated that the shift was inevitable once the new directive landed. Egypt has already begun camp and we're preparing for this very big game, like a friendly match, preparing Mohamed Salah, Omar Mamouche, and several other players to make sure they get it all right. But Eric Charles, leading men, are also in the news. Super Eagles forced into a new AFCON build up. Now, I like to say this, and let me put it clear. If Eric Chell has not found his first 11, talking about the Super Eagles coach, because on the show today, we will tell you some reasons, some things behind, like the unspoken truth, that's the word, why it's looking like the Super Eagles are unprepared for this tournament. The NFF now has moved the start of camp to 14 December, leaving Eric Chell with a drastically shortened runaway before the tournament begins. Even the venue of the Egypt match is still uncertain, with Cairo no longer practically the place and Morocco emerging as a likely alternative. Now, let's say this. The setback comes as a difficult moment. Looking at the way the Super Eagles are, we have Ola Aina is injured, Benjamin Felix is injured, Argo Felix is also having limited time play, and Chell's option, while we notice Ekong, is also not in the news anymore. He retired on Thursday, and that's a removal of a major leadership presence in that squad. So the coach must now do what? Cut his 55-man provisional list to 28. How can you cut a 55-man list? This is where I saw the unorganization of Nigerian football. For me, if you ask me, how do you go from here? We've seen other teams having their list out, provisional team list, and we are still having 55-man. I think it's Thursday. That's like the deadline. But the way it's looking, if you happen to be a Nigerian coach and you have quality players, you have a lot of players expected to be in camp, and you have a 55-man list. So what will be the criteria for selection for cutting down to 28-man list? That is looking unacceptable for me. Now, it's looking like the league or the what's it called, the paperwork or the list of players must go through a phase. Sometimes we put ourselves to blame. Sometimes those coaches allow themselves to be used. I understand that the NFF gave you this job. I understand that you have to, follow suit. But regardless, this happens when you're negotiating your contract. You cannot come up and begin to tell us you have a 55-man squad and you are yet up to date to trim it. What are you checking? What is the basis of selection? What are you looking out for? How do you make your team the best team? We have to contest in the Group C. We have Tunisia, we have Uganda, we have Tanzania. And all of these teams are aiming to claim the trophy. But for Nigeria, the last time we won the Nations Cup was back in 2013. And that is how many years and counting up to date. 3-time African champion. Who is going to make it for Nigeria? It's a big talk. And I want to say Eric Chell needs to go back to the drawing board, if there's a word like drawing board, if he will listen. Make sure everything happens to be all right. Decide what you want for your team. Don't let people put into your affairs. You know why? When you fail tomorrow, they would also let you go. Yes, truth be told, they got you on the job. Now, I must say, even before the Super Eagles coach got on that job, he knew personally that this won't be rosy. He knows beforehand. Because we have the body that governs the game, that controls you. They want to tell you what to do. Now, how do you give me a job and you believe in me and you tell me, go and do this job, and at the end of the day, trying to tell me to do the job, you are also trying to control me. So when I fail, we fail together. So why not give me the space, the attention, allow me to do my job, so when I fail, you can lay me off and I'll take the body myself. That's what they're not allowing this man to do. They should allow Eric Chell, because left for me, when I look into the map, see, the last Nations Cup, Ivory Coast, I knew how Eric Chell was able to trim his squad. I know that Mali squad. I know them well from onset. He was able to make sure he got the right selection at the right time, even before the FIFA released their statement. But why is Eric Chell, the Franco-Malian, delaying? Why are we seeing this time delay? And that's how shameful our sport has gone drastically down every day the pecking order. I told you last week he was owed 2 months salary. That's the coach you want to perform magic tomorrow to win the Nations Cup in Morocco. It doesn't work like that. We think we can just go to Morocco and just win it. If you ask me, I'll tell you, if Super Eagles can win the Nations Cup, I want to sound from the masses. I believe we will forgive them for not making it to the World Cup. We just have to forgive them. Because if you look at it from the under 15, 16, 17, everything is going down. Our football is in shambles. Our sports is going down the drain. These people governing this game know nothing about this. If you want to make an argument, you can. But right now, what is their yardstick? What basis do you hold up to a high esteem? They are not making sure everything is going well. Our sports is dying. Was it against Ivory Coast under 15? First half, 4-1. Millions of Nigerians. Talent out. See, we're not looking for talent. We have the talent. Do we have the capability, the capable hands to nurture those ones, to get into the right place? We don't have it. Even when they have it, even when they know they can do it, they just cut you off. You must know someone to know someone before you get to someone. It doesn't work. So talent is not enough anymore. So why is the list? Why is it taking time? Okay, no, forget that. Yes, I'm the presenter, right? You just might. Okay, you just want to talk. Let's be factual. The Nations Cup is coming 21 December, right? Up to date, we're still having a 55-man squad. The coach is waiting for deadline day. Who knows? Now, people are beginning to say that list is going through a phase. Did you get it? The list is not just about the coach now. It's going through a phase. Because we know in the LFF, there's always this, let me get my boys, my slots, our slots. It's my time. He's my boy. He's my this. He's my that. Play him. Do him. You tell the coach what to do. Where is this done? See, the way we are doing our football, our sport. I don't like to just say football because when I look into everything has to do with sports in this country, Nigeria, is going down the drain every day, and it's not looking good to be talked about. Because if you ask me, I'll tell you that many of these things are looking wrong. If you look at the way Nigerian football is now, it's like a teleprompter that does not show anymore. That's what it looks like. The directors will understand. It's just like a teleprompter that doesn't show well. That's what the federation looks like. These people, they are more like, I don't know, the word is they are so joint that they look unbroken. Some federations, when things like this happen, that we miss at the World Cup, we missed 2022, we're missing 2025, what you will see is people coming out to say, we're not doing anymore. We will resign. Integrity will take place. We will respect them. Do you know why I respect Ekong? The ovation is high. He has retired from the national team. So the ovation is high. So you leave when the ovation seems to be high. Now, this federation, this body, that just know about them, I talked about them now. You see what about 1 billion naira that was given to them the last time? They went to Morocco. You know what they did. We saw them in that, after Cape Verde game, we won the game. We've not played Congo yet. They rush. They do phone, like video. Make videos. We won't saw them now. And you want to know how they went? You want to know how they went? Private jet. Now, aside the private jet, you have a coach you've not paid up to date. See, everything is not looking like I said before. Afis, the producer, will understand. Because I say it and I'll say it again. The Nigerian football looks like a prompter that is off and not showing anymore. That's how it is at this point in time. Because we want to make it to the World Cup, we failed. Now the Nations Cup is next. What are we prepared? Are we good to go? Are we ready to take it by storm? Can we make it the fourth time? The last time we won the Nations Cup was the man who is late today, Stephen Keshi Okechukwu. You know him. He won as a player and as a coach. So if you look at Nigerian football sector, you begin to see that everything is not doing right. It's not going on well. The sector, just look at everything. Well, you want to know the reason why it was Ekong retired, the captain of the national team. Now, can you imagine? Have you ever thought about it? How Ekong left the national team? How can a coach make some changes during the game and we felt like he's going to bring in the man who's a good penalty taker? He didn't do it. But Ekong left. He said a lot of words. Emotional words, but it will be on the show. Will be telling us the reason why it was Ekong left the national team. Even when the Benjamin Frederick, the guy who's placed him on the bench, is not playing, he's injured, and Ekong still said, "I'm done." We're going on a quick break. When we return, the show continues. I thought they should have known better. Yes, so welcome back. Yes, let's talk about Alex Iwobi and the reason why the Super Eagles, the skipper retired some days back. Alex Iwobi has revealed why team captain Ekong unexpectedly retired from the Nigerian national team. Iwobi said the defender was no longer playing as he would have wanted to play for his country. Ahead of the AFCON 2025 coming up, Ekong on Thursday announced he was leaving the Super Eagles despite his name being included in the provisional squad for the tournament in Morocco. Now, Ekong had already played 83 games in the honor and the color of Nigeria and expected him to lead the team to this very phase. We thought, personally, I was thinking this will be his last AFCON, but Iwobi told reports that the defender's exit has created a huge vacuum in the team, even though he had not featured regularly lately. Now, according to Iwobi, he said, of course, towards the end of the Nigerian career, talk about Ekong, he wasn't playing as much as probably he would have liked. He added that the team will miss the leadership style of Ekong and the way he brought them together as one family. So he will be very missed in the team. He was a big leader, according to Iwobi, and he said, I'm sure we have the leaders that can follow his footsteps, but we all wish him so well. Now, a captain of the team, let's be factual, let's be sincere with ourselves. The captain of the team has retired. He retired on Thursday. So Ekong said some things. Now, one of the words I'll pick from Ekong, he said, every day I get calls from young players, young talent, telling me they want to play for the national team. He said he thought within himself he needs to leave. He needs to retire. So this is like the professional talk. We are not talking about the team behind the scene now. This is like the true one. He said, no, the behind the scene is not wrong. But let's talk about what he told us, first of all. Now, Ekong is saying that I needed to leave because we have other players who can replace me and who can be perfect for the team. Now, if you follow Ekong's story very well, you understand that during this time in the national team, by the end of his career, there was this Benjamin Frederick who was playing ahead of him. And as if that was not enough, I think Ekong believed that he has lost it with the coach. Now, we saw the Congo game that went to a penalty phase. I, for one, felt that why would you make a change and you're not bringing in Ekong when the game was headed to penalty? So Eric Chell made some changes. It's more like the Salah case. Ekong now knows that he has lost it with the coach, not the fans this time. The fans can also yell. They can also say a lot. But I'm talking about the player who will need his leadership quality. I'm talking about the player who won silverware for himself. I'm talking about the player who also won the best player of the tournament in Ivory Coast, the last Nations Cup. So we know him. Africa knows him. He's not just a mere player. He's just Ekong, the captain of the team. But now he has said, I'm done playing. And we look into the national team. There's a captain band chase. Who will be the captain? Who will be the captain? If there's anything you should love about Ekong, it's the leadership quality that he has. He possesses a lot of leadership quality. Now look at that team. Who would be our next captain? So let's talk and take it through to the next one, because on social media we've seen it. Now Nigerian fans are reacting and they are saying they want Victor Osimhen to replace Ekong as Eagles captain. We have to be logical before we make some changes. We have to be logical. It's not about who is better. It's not about who is good. It's about the man that has the quality, the intelligence, the football methodology that can read the game, not just as reading the game in the pitch, on and off the pitch, and that has that leadership quality in all. So Nigerian footballers knows this game. The Nigerian football fans have also called on Victor Osimhen to be named Super Eagles captain following Ekong's retirement from international game, with many citing, that's for national team rather, so many are citing the leadership quality, and it's crucial for Osimhen to influence the team. Like I already told you, 2023 African Player of the Year, Ekong also scored the brace in Friday. Osimhen scored the brace in Galatasaray game as they won that game 3-2 against Samsunspor, and that's maintaining their push in the Turkish league. But following Ekong's retirement announcement on Thursday, several fans and analysts took to social media to advocate for Osimhen's appointment as the new captain. What is the yardstick? Popular sport journalist Adekoju Toby Samuel also wrote, after the AFCON in Morocco, a few members of this team will retire. No doubt, we know. And he gave an advice to the NFF. He said, we must start afresh after the AFCON and build a winning squad for the 2027 AFCON. The decision to start afresh and the rebuilding process should start with Victor Osimhen being named as captain in Morocco. So it's not just about social media. Some sports enthusiasts are also wanting Osimhen to lead the team. Another one is Fisayo Dairo. He also said, another football enthusiast, he said, thanks to the memories of Trus Ekong, you left us and we really understand. You left us without playing the penalty against Congo. Your leadership is needed most time, but good time to leave, and it's the right time without feeding ovation, turning to contempt. He said, I'm so happy that Ekong retired, and I hope the NFF act well for once and announce Osimhen as the next captain. Now, who would be Nigeria's next captain? People need to understand who a captain is. Being a captain doesn't mean you have to be the best player. Being a captain doesn't mean you have to be the one to score all of the goals. Being a captain this time in the recent football doesn't mean you have to be the oldest. Understand this. Now, we've seen a lot of key players, club sides, national team-wise, becoming captains of their side. Because sometimes best players can be captains. We've seen that oftentimes. But recently, the game says you must have that quality. It's something you attain, something that you need to, it's like a trait within yourself. Now, does Osimhen have that captaincy leadership from? If you ask me, Osimhen can be the captain for any time, but not now. Not now. Osimhen has that motivation. He's hungry to score. He wants the team to be, elevated. He wants the best for Nigerian football. But I don't accept. That's my opinion. I don't want to believe Osimhen should lead Nigeria to the AFCON as a captain. No. If you want to place someone on that job, you should place someone who has been on the job, who has tested it before. Now, who are players on the line? Wilfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi, and then Victor Osimhen. Now, Victor Osimhen has less cap than the rest of them. Ndidi 2015 as well, Iwobi 2015 as well. They made a debut in Nigeria for Super Eagles. But if you ask me, I'll tell you, leave this captaincy for the man who is on the job, officially as assistant. So we don't break the national team, because now this is looking like a distraction within the Nigerian build-up and the setup. Why do you want to take off the captain, or take off the captain rather, from Wilfred Ndidi? Originally, since Musa left, even though he's not come out to say originally that he's done playing, it's been Ekong leading the line. So whenever I see Ekong as a captain on the bench, he takes me back to 1994, where we had what's his name? The man who's late, Stephen Keshi, yes. We have Stephen Keshi, it skips my mind all the time. Now we have Stephen Keshi as the captain of the team. He wasn't the starter. He wasn't getting start. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because he was injured. But the coach, the governor, the Nigerian, Westerhoff, said, no, we can't have this man injured and we'll drop him. So I just would say, if everything has gone so well, if the NFF has handled this issue, because it did not handle it well, Ekong should have not retired now. Regardless of starting or not, it's about the quality he possesses in the team. Now, not just about the gameplay, the backroom staff, those behind the scene. Do you realize that sometimes, okay, why were we making a move? They said, Osimhen, make a move, travel with the players, because we know what it takes for you to be behind the scene. Now, Ekong will have to watch as a spectator if he wants to be in Morocco, because I think they will make a list away for him. But aside that, he's no longer in the team. He has retired. He has left the national team. So, did he live well? Yes. Ovation is high. Okay, but I don't like the part, even where it feels like the boy or the young man who is 20, who was putting him on the bench, had an injury and would not be part of this one. And Ekong still said, I'm done here. There is so much about Ekong's retirement that we know. There is so much inside of his retirement that we know. But I don't know if it's about him, born in the Dutch side, in the Dutch land. I don't know if it's about his thinking acumen. I don't know if it's about his family, if it's his wife, if his dad talking to him. We don't know, but all we know we can say is that we don't have that Ekong as our captain anymore. So if we give it to Victor Osimhen, it will not be bad. But have you ever seen Osimhen commanding that qualities of a captain? Why not him start from being assistant to Ndidi? Why not? Iwobi is in that team. And I also have this fear that Iwobi also will retire after the Nations Cup. I just have that fear. Now, majority of this set of boys, this team now, they are quite old. So possibly this might be their last AFCON. Less leadership quality. Few players might join for the next one. But if you ask me, we need to be very careful so we don't shatter that team. I believe and I know if Ekong had not retired, I'm so sure, very certain, he would have made the 28-man list for Eric Chell. I'm very certain. Because we need his qualities. We need his backroom talks. We need all of those things. Not letting him go. So he has said to the media, he sounded happy. It's more like He's bitter in the heart, but not happy on the outside. Or look happy on the outside, but bitter inside. That's how I feel Ekong is at this point in time. So we're not going to see Ekong as the captain. But why is this a debate? Why are they asking questions who should be? Why is the fans clamoring for Osimhen to be the captain? This same set of fans would hit him so hard if he fails to do well at the next AFCON in Morocco. Just how many days counting? So if you look at Nigeria's setup, you begin to see there's a lot of disruption, a lot of mouth waggling, eyebrows being raised. We need to own this one. And it starts from Eric Chell. If that team will break tomorrow, Eric Chell will be the one to break it. If the team will start up tomorrow very well, Eric Chell is still the one to do this job. He needs to put things in place. He needs to make sure that everything looks all right. He needs to understand how to manage that team. This is not the small Super Eagles squad. This is a quality team. I cannot believe that this set of boys would not win a major trophy for themselves. I can't believe it. With all of the qualities that we possess, look at the value of these players. The last AFCON, we had the highest value. Super Eagles, check it out. Do your Google research. Find out well. The last AFCON in Ivory Coast, we had the highest valuation of players. No one came close. No player, no team, not even the Senegalese, not even the Moroccan side. But look at the way teams are prepared up till date. Looking at the calendar, looking at the time frame and the time constraint, we still have not picked our team. 55-man squad. What is Eric Chell waiting for? Eric Chell keep on putting pressure on himself. And I bet you, if he loses out to the Nations Cup, he was going to leave. He will go. He will be fired. And that's how I think it should be. Because I've never faulted Eric Chell. I've never faulted Eric Chell. I've always respected Eric Chell. Eric Chell has never been that fantastic for me. But because of I know he knows the African football, benefit of the doubt will not be wrong. Because I know that the Nigerian football sector have failed us, then let's manage what we have. Make do what we have. This man you have on your screen is not the reason why we did not make it to the World Cup. How many? See, he had a very short time. Now, in that short time, that's what I'm still saying. For players to return 14 December and 15 is at the detriment of the nation. It's a good news for teams that are so organized, not for Nigeria. A team that's not found its first 11. A team that's still trying to get its game. A team that's trying to win small teams. They will not have to come on the 15th of December because they have to play club games. People have given them ultimatum. We cannot go the other way. But it's a pressure. Someone said if Nigeria make it out from the group stage, you should be able to thank God. I'm like, because see, what we saw at the World Cup qualifiers is scary. Let me just give a reminder again. That group C, we had Lesotho, we had Zimbabwe, we had the South African side, we had Benin Republic, we had Rwanda. Look at the kind of teams. No disrespect to them though, but look at the kind of teams that we cannot overshadow. Now we are in the AFCON in Morocco. Iguavo did well, no doubt on that part. Now we have Tunisia. Tunisia is a very big side. African football, we know them. They hosted 94. We know the story. We know how good they can be. On a very good day, the North Africans, better word, are possessing African football. We know. Okay, let me keep them aside. Uganda, Tanzania, they might be small. It wasn't long that the Sudanese beat our Chad team. So if you come out and tell me there are minnows in the game, I will not agree with you. Because this set of Nigerian boys cannot win Comoros. I'm telling you the truth. We cannot, because on a very good day, you don't want to compare. There's no comparison with Nigeria. And all of these teams, they're like small teams to compare to Nigeria. But now, no one is scared of the Super Eagles anymore. No fear. Bring them on, let's play the game. Bring them on, let's play the game. Everybody wants to play against Nigeria. It's more like it's not about the quality. Because one man cannot make it. Osimhen is good. I talked about it against Congo. We were playing like we want the penalty. We're not even good on the penalty shooting, the takes. Wabali was fantastic on the saves, but what about the players? Now, it boils down to this set of boys again. Sometimes when I look at the team, I feel like they need to just start afresh. But this is not time to start afresh. This is the time to get focused and go to Morocco and make millions of Nigerians forgive you. The players have a job to do. The coach have a job to do. But also, the federation, the body that governs the game, let them do what they want to do. Don't control this coach. Let this gaffer decide who starts, who plays, who stays on the bench, how he wants it, his formation. Let the blame be pointed on Eric Chell. Allow him, give him the free hands. Someone might be like, do you have a proof that he doesn't have a free hands? We can see. Okay, look at Pesero, the last Nations Cup. Did you see it? We got to the final. We lost it. his start lineup or his starts from the group stage was not the same squad in the final. Chukwueze started in the final, if you follow the game very well. It was more like, play this boy, play this boy. If you give this man, you see, the job has been given to him. He was given the job because they believe in him. Why not allow him do what he wants for himself? But what less to say about the Super Eagles? We wish them all of the best, and let's see how it plans out. But once the time is right, we'll give you all of the updates. Once the list is out, we'll tell you so you can follow up on the show and then know how many of the players that you love made the list from Eric Chelsea. But quickly, let's talk about something else and give respect to Lionel Messi. He's a champion, and he has done it again this time around. For every time he goes somewhere, he achieves a lot, and he's now the most decorated player in the world of football, just surpassing Dani Alves. Messi also awarded the 2025 MLS Cup Most Valuable Player. You have on your screen, we have a run-through. MLS champion Inter Miami. That's a record for Messi, and that's a day of history. He has made out with the set. Jordi Alba, Suarez, Messi, all of this quality team they've got in that now. Now look at this: 23 League Cups, 24 Supporters Shield, and then 25 MLS Cup. Good business for David Beckham, and he has done so well. Now also you look at this, what a picture you can have. You see David Beckham so happy, and that's a businessman. Now let's talk about David Beckham in his business, how far he has done. We have to show you on the screen so you can see that people that sees the game as a business understand this well, and they make it all right. David Beckham bought a franchise. That's 2014 or thereabout, 2014 or so, yes. 2014 he bought a franchise, and look how much he has invested, and look how much he has made. They got Messi signed in 2023. That's a record. I go with this. Don't worry. I tell you. Now you look at the MLS squad. Let me tell you, so you can see that someone has seen this as a business. I tell you. Now decoration-wise, Messi has got 48 trophies for himself. Messi has got a lot of trophy in his name. Dani Alves has got 43. Jose Machado has got 39. Marquinhos has got 38. Sergio Busquets has got I think he's got 38 as well. Now for the business aspect, let me tell you, one reason why you should respect people that sees the game as a business, not like the Nigerian Football Federation that don't understand how this game is being done. Now, David Beckham, he triggered his $25 million, his clause to secure an MLS expansion, and that was a franchise in 2014. Now, guess what? They went on to be having their team approval, and that was back in 2018. $1 billion Miami Freedom Park approved in 2019. Also, Messi joined in 2023. The club reached a valuation of $1 billion in 2025, and they've won the MLS Cup in 2025. This is absolutely a good business, very good business for this said man, and that's about David Beckham. So the most valuable player, you must respect Messi. Some say he's the GOAT, some say he's the greatest of all time. If you say Messi is your GOAT, you will not be wrong to say so because he's done so well. But let's talk about the Egyptian aggression. Mohamed Salah is not happy with what is really going on in Liverpool. And also, I am not an Egyptian, but I don't think I like the news. And Slot is really doing a lot at this point. And he's been in the news. People are saying the Dutchman needs to go. Now look at Mo Salah, well decorated. Maybe the mistake he made was not to leave for Saudi when your vision was so high. Now, I don't know how much Salah would cost if you ask me now. I don't know. Are we going to see Salah go for 70 million pounds? Is he still worth that price? 85, 90? He's worth more than all of this. High valuation, big world-class player, Egyptian, African player to the fullest. But shortly after the Leeds game, Mohamed Salah puts the cat amongst the pigeons with his accused Liverpool off. Now, what is Salah saying? He's saying they are throwing him under the bus and that he no longer had a relationship with Arne Slot. He is 33 now, and he has been an unused substitute in 2 of the Liverpool last 3 games, suggesting, that's the message, you have to read together very soon, suggesting it was wrong that he was not playing after earning his right with his past display, and the current situation was unacceptable. Now, let's read what Mo Salah said. Let's get it full. Now, he said, in football, you never know. I don't accept this situation. I have done so much for this club. It's not acceptable for me. I don't know why this is happening to me. I don't get it. I think if this was somewhere else, every club will protect its player. Absolutely true. Yes, that's the real one. Now, he said, how I see it now is like you throw Mo, that's him, under the bus because he is the problem in the team now. He's saying, but I don't think I am the problem. I have done so much for this club. And this is the most touching part of it. This is what Salah is saying. The respect I want to get, I don't have to get every day fighting for my position because I earned it. This is the word. I'm not bigger than anyone, but I earned my position. It's football. It is what it is. Now, you know what it's saying. Let's be factual. Let's say it. Now, this is a professional talk. Truth. He has made a point, and I would go and I would relate, and I can really relate, and I can attest to what he's saying. It comes a time in a man's life when you need to be decisive. Salah have won everything he needs to win at club level with Liverpool. For me, he's the greatest of Liverpool players. No disrespect to Kenny Dalglish, no disrespect to Samuel Happier, the Steven Gerrard, all of this, Ian Rush, I respect them. But Salah should be talked about. He is, for me, and I'll say it again, I'll reiterate, the most valuable of all of the players Liverpool have ever produced. We know his story, Fiorentina, Barcelona, Chelsea, all of the move, we know all of these things. He said a word that got to me. I don't need to fight for my shirt. I earned it. See, I earned it. So it's not just like, let's put Salah. I understand the coach. He has the power, he has the right to say stay on the bench, I know. But not 2 games in a row. That's Mo Salah we're talking about. That's a man who's got 20 goals plus every season. That it's not working this time around does not mean he's not good enough. I felt like the first day he must have learned his lesson. Why do you keep on not giving this man a chance? Now he can literally see it from everywhere that the coach, who I said some time ago is my friend and we have a good relationship, now wants me out of the club. Now he's expecting the board to control this. He's expecting the club to, cover this burden. But it's going off the shows. It's going off the social media. Let's be factual. If a Salah can come out and say, I feel this way, then I don't really think everything's all right in Liverpool. He's literally not, he's not the problem. Let's be factual. Now, a team that sold Darwin Núñez, you made so much money. You allowed Luis Diaz go to Bayern Munich. He wants to win football. He went for the Bavarians. You allowed the Consa, the young man, leave. So Elliot left, even though he's struggling in Newcastle. So we've seen some flaws that Arne Slot did, and Diogo Jota is late today. So if you look at Liverpool's set and the body that governs it, you understand that a lot should be done. You won the league. How much was given? You saw players with good buy from club sides. How well have they invested that money within themselves? You cannot ponder blame on one player when the team is having their flaws. Okay, that bad game against Leeds United. Did you see Konate? Did you see Virgil van Dijk? Now it's called for questioning. Does this player play for the team or the manager? Do they really want Arne Slot on this job? Salah is not happy, and I understand, and I really would go with his flight. And then let's leave Salah's case, and then we go and tell you more. He has said it all, I earned my place. And that's about Mo Salah. But let's shift attention right now and talk about the world of tennis. And we bring it back to Nigeria, where we saw the Lagos State Tennis Club named special squad, not ready to suffer another defeat. The Lagos State University of Science and Technology, Lagos Tech Tennis Club, has rolled out what it termed special squad for the 2025 Vice Chancellor's Tennis Cup. The tournament, which started last week with internal players battling for shares in the Lagos Tech Tennis Squad, will end today. And will be ending today. This year, the tournament, organized by a member of the school tennis club, is backed by Coronation Insurance, Sovereign Trust Insurance, Name Insurance, Capital Express, and Tangerine Insurance. The tournament attracts players from various tennis clubs in Lagos. In a list made available by reports yesterday by the organizers, Muyiwa Ogunlade will fly the Lagos Tech Tennis Club flag in a singles event, just as Adeyemi Olaniyan, Adeneye Yunusa, and also Wasiu Aronyehun in this very state. Now, we'll move away from that one and let's tell them all. But you need to know, according to Lagos Tech Tennis Club, the PRO, Dr. Christian Otefana, the internal segment conducted during the week saw Group 2 recording 73 points, while Group 3 got 71 points respectively. Group 1 secured 47 points, just as Group 4 secured 46 points. The Lagos Tech Tennis Club special squad will this afternoon slug it out with the top tennis players from Nigerian Navy Tennis Club, Mainland Tennis Club, and the Ijebode Tennis Club at the main campus of the school in Ikorodu. Meanwhile, the president of the Lagos Tech Tennis Club, Dimeji Jaolola, and captain of the club, Gafatayo, are optimistic that the special squad will redeem their image this year after losing the singles final to Police College Tennis Club last year. They started that also saying that the winner will go home with various items, including house, hold electronics. And that's the news about tennis. But let's talk about this one again in the tennis world. We just told you now Ikoyi Club Tennis Masters begins. And I can't wait to see how that pans out. The organizers of the Ikoyi Club Tennis Masters tournament have embarked 4 million naira as the prize money for this year's edition. The chairman of the tennis sector and the section of the Ikoyi Club, Jivan Famaginwa, stated that this is a briefing highlighting that the activities of the second edition of the tournament would go so well. The tournament, which is in collaboration with Mega Mound Investment Limited, is endorsed by the Nigerian Tennis Federation. According to Famaginwa, the male and the female champions will receive 500,000 naira each, while the runners-up in both categories will go home with sum of 350,000 naira each, with the remaining money to be shared among the semi-finalists and other participants. I love to share this news with you, and I'm happy that 4 million naira is up for grabs. 16 players, which includes the 8 top male and 8 top female players, will feature in the one-week event, which started on December 5 and will run till Saturday, December the 13th. So that's the news. But the female final will also be holding on Friday, December 12th, and then while the male final also is scheduled to take place. So we see how that goes up until then. But let's go and give you some IOC news. This sounds so sweet to talk about because I should be celebrating a Nigerian lady, Olufunke Oshanake, a legendary figure in African table tennis and a 7-time Olympian, as she has edged her name into the history book once again, this time off the court. Yeah, it must interest you to know that the Nigerian icon has become the first athlete to be appointed to the prestigious International Olympic Committee, IOC. The Athletes Commission, following her nomination by IOC President Christy Coventry. Now, this appointment marks a new chapter for the 50-year-old who has long been celebrated not only for her longevity in shots, but also her leadership and also her advocacy. Shanake is one of the 5 new members drafted and also attracted onto the commission to compete and also to complete its full composition ahead of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympic Games. But in a statement released, the IOC confirmed the inclusion of Saraya Agel Haji, that's Iran badminton, Hossein Araya, Saudi Arabia rowing, Sheikh Salasa Sisi, Cote d'Ivoire taekwondo, Olufunke Oshaneke from Nigeria table tennis, and Mariana Pajon from Colombia in the cycling world. And the appointments were made in consultation with IOC athletes, commissions also in this one. And I'm celebrating with you because we've seen this lady every time it has to do with tennis and how much she has put into the sport. And I'm happy that Shenoke, the appointment is a combination of a decades of her service and excellence, having competed in 7 consecutive Olympic Games from Atlanta 96 to Tokyo 2020. She remains one of the African most enduring athletes. She currently serves on both the Nigerian National Olympic Committee athletes, commission also of the Nigerian table tennis athletes. And that's how much she's been, and she has continued her advocacy for athletes on and off the international stage. Her fellow African appointee are also happy to have her on the show in that very phase. But with this new addition, I must tell you, the IOC Athletes Commission now stands at 23 members representing all continents, including representatives from the Refugee Olympic team. The group comprises of 13 women and 10 men, spanning 15 summer, I think that's 10 to 15 summer sports and 5 winter disciplines, reflecting on the IOC's push for balanced global representation. I must celebrate this lady, and I'm happy that Olufunke, that's the name, Shonake is in the story, and we wish her all of the best as she joined her other African counterpart. But let's talk about the world of boxing quickly on the show. Our boxing world is looking very, very, trajectory on this part because Tyson Fury has hinted that his retirement from boxing could end this year or next year after declaring that the king must return to his throne. But we look into this fight coming up. Fury had insisted, I think he once said this before, and he's talking again, because he's now insisting, he has insisted that his boxing career was over in January after a second successive defeat on Lesnar Usyk in an undisputed world heavyweight title fight last December. But the 37-year-old teased a comeback in a post on social media stating the king must return to his throne. Who is the king? Well, let's see. Now, there's a long and lonely road that can only walk on. But after the long and hard battles await immortality, that's about Fury. But I must tell you, it's not the first time that Fury has threatened to walk away from the sport. He did so back in April 2022 after beating Dillian White, insisting his career had reached an end only to return 6 months later to fight Derek Chisora in a trilogy bout at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now the question is asked, is Fury returning for an AJ fight? Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn remains hopeful that a long-awaited British battle with Fury will finally take place next year, provided that his fighter overcomes Jake Paul in a surprise showdown in Miami on December 19th. Now I'm just thinking, how would it be if Anthony Joshua loses to Jake Paul? Let's do a throwback quickly. Speaking in October, Eddie Hearn, a big promoter, revealed that Joshua was in talks with the Turkey, Al Sheikh, chairman of the General Entertainment Authority in Saudi Arabia, about a multi-fight deal that could be a Fury fight. But in the words of Eddie Hearn, he said, I believe Fury is a competitor, and that fight is on a plate for him now. So there is no excuses. The only excuse is I just don't want it to do it anymore. I don't want him to do it anymore, that's the word. And that's probably valid. He's done everything in the sport. But you know, Fury is big. He's a 2-time heavyweight champion. Fourthly, becoming a unified world title holder when he defeated Vladimir Klitschko in 2015. Now, after a 3 years break, he returned to the ring again and went on to beat Deontay Wilder. You know the game in their 2020 rematch, and that is not enough. He became the WBC champion before defeating his title against Deontay Wilder in the 2021 trilogy clash. So we have to wait how this goes. But from that one, let's wrap up and tell you, Anthony Joshua's showdown. One man is optimistic that Joshua will beat Jake Paul. That's a brutal warning to Jake Paul. So his name is Roy Jones, and Roy Jones is one man who loves Anthony Joshua so well. Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul is set for December 19 at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida. This highly anticipated clash will headline a most valuable promotion card available to stream on Netflix for all subscribers. Moving on, positively or negatively, many are discussing this fight, and Roy Jones Jr. recently spoke with reports talk about Flight Hype, delivering a brutal prediction. Many in the boxing world have slammed Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul and described it as a mismatch. At the initial press conference, AJ delivered a cold warning to Jake Paul, and he said, I'm going to bring him to another school of boxing that I don't think he's been exposed to yet. So there's a few tricks I have up on my sleeve to show Jake Paul on December 19. It appears Joshua still has the desire to succeed once again in a heavyweight division, and Paul should be a step on that, just so get ready. But the message is clear. Junior Jones was clear about what he made. He said, Jake is going to fight a real fighter. And if the real fighter fights like a real fighter, then Jake is going to take a real nap. AJ showed you against Ngannou. He's not one of these guys you just pick out on the street and say, I'm going to fight. Nah. AJ is an Olympian. AJ is a former world champion. AJ is a 2-time world champion. AJ is nothing to play with. If you are going to fight AJ, have your mind right. Because if you take it, he's going to fight it. And that's about, Jake Paul, Jones, and also talking about Anthony Joshua. But wrapping up on the show quickly, let's talk about Formula One. What really happened yesterday? There's a new champion emerged out there. McLaren Lando Norris won his first Formula One Drivers' Championship by finishing 10th in the season, ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on Sunday. The 26-year-old won the title after finishing 2 points clear of Red Bull Max Verstappen, who had won the race to take his 8th victory of the year, one more than Norris and his McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen emerged the winner of the race in Abu Dhabi, while Oscar Piastri finished second, and Lando Norris ended in third, which was enough to see him crowned champion of the 2025. Now, moving on, let's really talk about Norris. He became the 11th British Formula One champion at the end of his 7th season in Formula One, a year that he started slowly, but in which he came out strong in the second half of the year. He was 34 points behind Piastri after the Dutch Grand Prix at the end of August, when he suffered a late mechanical problem on his car, but he was able to produce a stunning fatback to emerge champion, and it's McLaren's first drivers and constructors title double since 1998. Norris described the defeat as amazing, while congratulating Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri. So let's talk about the top 10, the men who you should recognize in the tennis, and also talking about Formula One world. Max Verstappen from the Red Bull is in the news Oscar Piastri from McLaren, Lando Norris from McLaren, Charles Leclerc Ferrari, George Russell Mercedes, Fernando Alonso Aston Martin, Esteban Ocon for Haas, Lewis Hamilton Ferrari, Nico Hülkenberg Sauber, Lance Stroll Aston Martin. This is how it lies out, and we must say congratulations to Max Verstappen and also alongside Lando Norris. Thank you so much for being part of the show. This is the Sport Day Timeout, and this is that time. Sports Republic show that comes your way every weekday. We have the media news coming up next, and then tomorrow we continue to tell them more. Are we going to have our lists out tomorrow or possibly this afternoon? Time tells. Up until then, we'll see you again. Have yourself a very good morning, and then for the afternoon time, good afternoon.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
From the views on the streets
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs,